Hi, it's Alyssa Sequoia here. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. I've named this the Let It Flow Show. I'll be sharing stories, experiences, thoughts, and ideas, and just whatever flows through in the moment. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And now it's time for the Let It Flow Show. Hi. Oh, it's been many, many months since I've posted a podcast, but it's not that I wasn't recording podcasts. I just never put them up. I'm here to backtrack and put up some podcasts that I did a couple months back. This one in particular goes back to the passing of Sinead O'Connor and discovering how polyester is made. It's like been hanging over me that it's out there, that I, spend time putting the words and, getting myself into my podcast mode and sharing, and never did it. And so I'm just so happy to share it now. I've missed you so much. It's just been too long. So how are you? How are you doing? How have you been? I'll tell you, it's been a pretty wild time for me, but that's just the norm. Wild is norm, because I'm a creative being, just always having to clean my filter, keep my filter on my purification system of my mind and body fresh, because everything comes at me. And my filtration system is my breath. So that's what I use. And thank God, and I always say this for my meditation practice, because that allows me to filter through and refresh myself. It's so funny because I was texting with an old friend this morning. She was the pastry chef at the restaurant that I used to own back in 2006 called Bloom. She was a vegan pastry chef, and we check in with each other every now and again, but it's been a while, so we checked in with each other. I wanted to know how she was doing. She checked in with me as well, and she said to me, "Are you an air sign? Because you're so airy. Like, I just feel this airiness in communicating with you and when I'm in contact with you." And I just said, I'm an earth sign. But I love that she said that. And that made me think, yeah, you know what? Yes, I'm constantly breathing and mindful of it and refreshing myself through breath. So maybe that's what she's hearing. Maybe that's what she's feeling. I think I've shared with you that I underwent vocal changes in 2014. And after I recorded my last album, Queen Anne's Lace, really have been very seriously working on voice training and exercises and learning new things and working with a voice coach. It's like, it's been very vulnerable. It's been a little scary. Imagining life without being able to sing was not a very pleasant thought or feeling, because, acting and stand-up and writing are all phenomenal creative and drawing tools for me. But if there are any of you are singers or musicians, that is a certain sweet spot in your soul, in your spirit. When you go into that zone, there really is nothing like it. at all, And I heard this artist say her favorite thing about music is that you can, if the music allows you, if you allow yourself to go there, you forget you're human. You just go into a space where you're in just a different energy. That being said, I've been working really hard on my voice and rebuilding it. And the doctor said there was scar tissue and there was an unevenness in the vocal folds. So I worked and worked and worked. So that healed itself, the unevenness in the vocal folds. They became even and were connecting together evenly again. The scar tissue somehow healed itself. I don't really understand how that happened, but then a tremor became apparent, that there was a vocal tremor. And I also have ankylosing spondylitis, an autoimmune disease. So that kind of comes into play. So all these things are coming into play, and there are things that I have to work with. So I've been working with this voice coach for like 2 years now, maybe. I love her. She's incredibly loving, nurturing as a woman, as like a motherly kind of love, but also a fabulous coach. She's taught me so much. I now have an additional voice coach that I just started working with. She's really inspiring me, and I've benefited from it immediately, from the things we've been doing together. So I hear voice changes, and every so often when I'm singing, I'll just hear like vocal glimmers. I'll hear glimmers, little glimmers, like, oh, my voice, And here's the thing. I have a lot of new songs and new music in me. So it's like really, really, really important and exciting for me to hear those glimmers and be working on my voice and record these songs. I've been going into prayer for guidance on my path, for ways to present themselves, of how it's going to happen, how it's going to get done, who's going to show up in my path. Please send me the right people on my path. Please, the right place, the right studio, the right musicians, the right energy, the loving, supportive, nurturing environment, the creative forces meeting and making these songs the absolute best they can be. And for that doesn't mean a lot of production. In fact, maybe even the opposite of just the simplicity of the beauty of the instrumentation supporting my songs coming through, but being like exactly what the song calls for and bringing it to its highest and best, energetically and sonically. So I've got a lot of new music coming, and without further ado, I present to you my podcast that I did many months ago. All right, I'm sending a lot of love. I recently learned polyester is made of petroleum. It's crude oil. It's obtained from drilling the earth. I'm just shocked and disgusted because it's in everything. There are no real alternatives except maybe latex, kapok, cotton. And I'm so upset because I have stuff made with polyester. Clothes, like bras and jackets and furniture is made from polyester, and fabrics. And I learned more than half the clothing in the world is made from polyester and furniture, and it's not biodegradable. Let that sink in for a minute. Like, it does not break down. So how is the earth supposed to deal with this? It can't. This is crazy. We need alternatives now, right fucking now. This polyester, it's in everything. Pillows, blankets, all kinds of materials, bags, luggage, couches, mattresses, you name it, it's in it. I learned about crude oil petroleum in medicines. That Rockefeller made it the standard to include it in medicines to support drilling for oil. I saw this video the NRDC put out, which is the Natural Resources Defense Council, an organization here in this country. And they put out this video on social media with an actress, Kira Sedgwick, as the spokesperson, talking about how this company must be stopped from drilling the largest area ever in a protected area in the Arctic, and how we have to stop it and we have to donate to stop them. So I made a comment saying they're drilling for it because we are all creating the need for it. Driving our cars, flying on planes, boats, doing all these things for leisure and for luxury, and add in the polyester and other synthetic fabrics made with it, and supplies and plastics. And of course they're drilling for more. We're all actually supporting it. And people have to be educated in exactly what they are buying. As a consumer, you need to know what you're supporting. I have bathing suits made from recycled plastic bottles. Because you, as a consumer, you matter. What you spend your money on matters. Know what you're supporting. Read labels. But also, adults yelling and screaming about it to other adults has gotten us absolutely fucking nowhere. It's done nothing. Adults are too comfortable and too lazy to make changes. The whole conversation has to move to children. Kids have to know about all of this going on because adults just do nothing but complain. And worse, they have more babies to further the drain on the Earth's natural resources. And now it's up to the kids. So let's shift the conversation. I'm appealing to all parents and all teachers to teach kids what's going on. the truth of what's being done to the earth. Make it part of the curriculum to take children on class trips to landfills. They need to know that garbage doesn't magically disappear when you throw it in the bin. It's here forever. Show them the truth. Take them to nuclear power plants so they know what it takes to power their devices, to power their lives. Take them to chemical plants and show them how things are made. Honestly, kids will have ideas of how to make changes. They will. Let's utilize their young minds. This is their planet now. Don't think you're protecting them. There's nothing else to learn about in school for them but this. How to steer this society into a new direction away from these horrible, old, destructive ways. It's not enough to talk about it, but create solutions. And shout out people who are working on solutions and have companies that have these practices in place where they're utilizing and recycling polyester. Shout them out. It's not enough to just sit and complain about it. Solutions.
All day and I think ethnic patterns that swirl in my mind, going all the way back to the beginning of mankind. It was rock, shell, soil, water, tribal beats fall upon me in the blood of the slaughter of race, religion, greed, and crime. Lyrically speaking, we're walking on a fine line. Do you feel the motion? So unbelievably potent. The real truth of your deep desire that spreads and consumes you like a forest fire. The ground, the place we all mosey around. No room for labels after you hear my sound. You wanna label me? Then label me crazy. Love me, hold me, rock me slowly, but don't think for a minute that you own me.
Parents, you gotta tell your kids, stop playing video games. It's time to clean up the planet. Okay? And you know kids, they're gonna be like, Mom, I don't wanna clean the planet. I'm playing a video game. Can't someone else do it? Right? It's like, no one else can do it. You have to clean the planet. Okay? Do you like air? Do you like breathing? Not really, Mom. I really don't care. Oh, okay. Do you like water? Do you like having a glass of water to drink? I'd rather drink Red Bull or soda. Okay, well that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you like that, because if you want to live, if you want to appreciate the life that you were given, this one life, then you're going to need air and water in order to remain here and live. Okay? So stop whining and pull up your pants and wash your face and go to work. Go to work now. Okay? We need solutions from you. Polyester alternatives to plastic. They're already out there. We just have to get the major corporations to utilize that and switch it out to the biodegradable plastics. So that's in play. But you got to get the major corporations to switch. And you got to clean the water and figure out what to do with all the garbage and all the landfills. And you got to shut down all the nuclear power plants, but you also got to figure out what to do with the spent radioactive waste and where to put it. And there's a couple other things on the to-do list. Okay, kid? So let's go. This ain't a free ride, motherfucker. Chop, chop, let's go. You got time to lean, you got time to clean.
But I don't need to watch the news. I know what's going on. The violence and global warming, right? And it's like all the most powerful politicians, that's all they're screaming about on any platform they can get on, too, right? They're always out there like, we're in trouble. The planet's in trouble. We've reached a tipping point, and we don't even know if there's any turning back or if it's too late. It's like, okay, well, what are you constantly yelling about it to us for? Do something, motherfucker. Damn, you're a powerful politician. You create laws that create change. Do something, motherfucker. God.
I want to say that stores and all shopping is like a landfill. It's just all creating like a landfill, right? Like when I walk into a big store and I look around, whether it's the supermarket or wherever I am, a big store, even a little store, I look at all the packaging, I look at all the products, and I'm like, holy fuck. Like how is the earth supposed to deal with all this? And it's not, it can't. And this thing, whatever it is that we're buying, we're now responsible for the packaging. And can it be recycled? Chances are no. Even all the organic shit I buy come in non-recyclable packaging. Thanks. That's fucking horrible. Is it going to wind up in a landfill? Yes. Yes, it is. Is it going to wind up in the ocean? Yes. Yes, it is. So when we talk about shifting the paradigm and stop drilling for oil and getting off fossil fuels, the conversation needs to be a lot more specific. So specifically, we need to figure out polyester alternatives that are natural, that are biodegradable. Do not be shielding your children. Do not be protecting children from the truth of what's happening. Let them be aware and move in that direction of finding alternatives, natural alternatives to polyester. And to all of us who shop and have impulse buys and who love clothing like I do, we have to read labels. I was in a store 2 days ago and I saw this sweater that was like exactly what I would have been wanting. Beautiful. I love the cut, the design, the style, everything. So I look at the label. Where's it made? China. What's it made of? Polyester and viscose. I haven't even begun to go into how viscose is made. It's made from cutting trees and pouring a toxic, acidic, deadly chemicals on the tree, turning it into a pulp, pouring that toxic, cancerous water back into the water supply on the planet, which causes cancer and nerve damage. And now they work with this product they've created from this process. That's viscose. Can you fucking believe it? So this sweater was made in China from polyester and viscose. And I'm like, oh my God, no. I'm literally doing a podcast. I'm literally thinking about how I don't want to support this. And I also am, as fucking hard as I can, trying to not buy things made in China. And I breathe through that impulse of wanting to buy this beautiful top and let it go. Because I'm not going to feel very beautiful wearing it, knowing how much damage was done to the planet in order to create it. I read something that Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist teacher and monk, said. He was talking about the saying, don't just sit there, do something. And he said, no, it's don't just do something, sit there. And I love that because to me, I apply that to when I feel these impulses come over me where I want to buy something. I want to go into that shopping mode, consumer mode. And no, the truth is I have enough.
You're my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine. You make me smile with my heart.
So I'm sure my podcast has been just a laugh a minute over here, a laugh riot. I really, oh God. This is why I've stepped away from stand-up comedy. Because, this is what's inside me right now. And I have yet to find the funny for some of this. I'll be honest with you. It's like, I don't know what's so fucking funny anymore. I need to transition from stand-up comedy to lie down crying. That's what I think I could do really well. I would be killing it if I was just going on stage and lying down crying. I could do well. I could make people really cry. On a good night, they'd be inconsolable, hysterical fucking crying. I know I really killed. So that's my next thing. But what do? I create, I draw. I have an art group that I just formed because I belong to an art collective in my town. And I go to an art group where it's kind of like a show and tell for adults, where we go to a local cafe. Funny enough, it's called Art Cafe. And we each share what we're working on. We sit at a table in the back. And it's been lovely. My friend Dan is the host. I love Dan. So I made an announcement that, listen, I want to be doing more art. And I want to be doing more art. So who's interested in coming to my house? And we'll do prompts. I'll give directives. We'll show up with what we worked on. And then we'll do a couple prompts at my house. So I got a lot of interest. So my first art group get-together for an art therapy group I'm creating. I'm actually creating an art therapy group. I'm not a licensed or have no formal education. But fuck it. Art's therapeutic. So anytime you get people together and you do art, it's fucking therapy, right? My directive, maybe you all want to try it, for this coming first get-together is listen to Sinead O'Connor's song, The Healing Room, and create something with any medium. Pencil, paint, clay, collage, whatever you're feeling. Just create something. Sinead O'Connor's song, The Healing Room. One of my favorite songs in the world. That song got me through a lot of challenges, a lot of tough times. It's gentle, it's beautiful, it's wise, it's powerful, and I want to honor her. And I can't think of a more wonderful way to celebrate her than with creating something and sharing her music with people who maybe have never heard that song. And maybe you've never heard that song. It's called The Healing Room. I saw Sinead O'Connor in concert many years ago when I was young. I used to cater rock concerts at the Beacon Theater in Manhattan. And that was in the 90s. We catered tons and tons and tons and tons of bands and singers. But one night, it was a huge event, and it was Sinead O'Connor was there. So after being there since 5 a.m. and cooking for the crew, the roadies, the bands, getting the dressing room set up, running around, laughing, being crazy with my crew, I got to meet Sinead and say hi to her and her beautiful backup singers, who were all from Ireland, and they were all just kind and soft-spoken and had a beautiful presence and energy. And my girlfriend, Alexia and I met in the 90s catering at rock concerts at the Beacon Theater and have been friends ever since. Love you, Lex. So Lex and I were like, we've got to go into the audience. And that night, while we were still working, and we got to see Sinead perform. So we went into the audience, and she was singing, "This is the last day of our acquaintance." That's the name of the song. It was so amazing. But when the beat dropped on that song, we lost our fucking minds. And my friend Lex threw herself into a wall. We couldn't handle it. We didn't know how to handle it. When that beat dropped on that song, that was it. She exploded. I did too, but she threw herself into a fucking wall. I'll never forget it in my life. And the other day, when the news broke, Sinead O'Connor had passed, sure enough, Lex texts me, "Do you remember when I threw myself into a wall at the concert?" I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking in that moment. How we got to experience that and see her live and be in the presence of greatness. Greatness. A brave, bold, truth seeker. She was all about it. She was all about the truth and exposing the truth. And she was crucified for it. She was fucking crucified for it. And she had her heart and soul broken by child abuse. And I can fucking understand that. I can really understand that. Some people can't get over it. And I fucking get it. But what I can tell myself is keep creating, keep sharing, keep doing whatever I can. So that's a wrap for the Let It Flow show. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Alyssa Sequoia, and until next time, take care. For more information about where to find me, go to alyssa360.com. That's ALYSSA360.com. Much love and peace.